Welcome to We Record. My name is Brian, and today we're going to continue our Logic Pro X tutorial series with lesson number 3, where we get into recording audio. So let's just get right into it. First thing we're going to do is load up Logic Pro X. Then we're going to go to File, then we go to New. And basically, we're in the process of creating a session. So in this example today, I'm going to actually just be recording audio. So I'm not going to be doing any software instruments or any other inputs. What I want to point out is that you want to make sure, again, that your audio input and your audio output is showing. So if your audio device is installed correctly, you would basically be able to see it down here on the bottom. If it isn't, you want to make sure troubleshoot that and make sure that you could see your input and output here. The one thing I didn't mention the last time was ascending, load default patch, and the open library settings. So basically, if I was to hit ascending on the input, what would happen is that if I had, for instance, an audio device that had 8 inputs, if I were to hit ascending and create those tracks, it would give me input 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Load patch default is essentially a sound or sounds that you may have saved before, but more likely you haven't if you're a new user. And if I were to hit this open library icon box, basically what will happen is that when I create, basically the library section would open up on Logic Pro. So I'm not going to select any of those. The same is true for the ascending on the output. For the input monitoring, that's essentially allows you to hear yourself in your headphones, and record enable basically just allows your track, it arms the track to be able to be ready to re-record it on. And we could actually do it after we create the tracks anyway. So what I'm going to do is create 4 audio tracks. I'm going to hit create. The next thing I want to do is I want to, again, just make sure that everything's set up correctly. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to the Logic Pro icon. I'm going to go to Preferences, Audio. And again, this is just to make sure, again, it should have shown on the other screen, but this is just a sanity check of sorts. So the next thing I want to do is I just want to close this out because it's kind of annoying me a bit. The next thing I want to do is make sure that I save this before I do anything else. So I'm going to File, Saves. I'll just call this Logic 3 Test. And again, I like to save in folders. So basically what I'll do is create a new folder. I'll call it Logic 3 Test. I will create that folder. Again, I'm only doing audio files. I'm not doing any other instruments. I'm not doing anything other than that. So I'm just going to select that, save it, and notice the session name changes up here. So the next thing I want to do is open up the mixer view. If you hit this icon right here, it will show you a mixer, which basically mimics what's on the top screen. So if you notice audio 4 is highlighted, basically is picking up the signal from my voice. And if I were to select number 1 over here, you will see it's highlighted as well. Do not be intimidated by all these buttons and different things like that. The cheat sheet is that once you understand one of these, it's basically the same over and over and over again. So today we won't get too much into that. We're going to do a whole lesson that goes a lot of detail into channels and what all these other things are. But the only thing we want to be concerned about today is our input. And again, just to confirm, I'm using input 1. If you had it set up for input 2 or input 3, you would basically select that. But I have mine set up for input 1. And my output is set to the stereo output. This is my pan pot. That basically is called, it allows you to move sound from one speaker to the next. That's what that does. And again, I'll do another tutorial that actually goes over this entire thing. But I just wanted to point that out. Notice the R. If you look, you'll see it says Record Enable. And if you're recording somebody again, you want to make sure that this input monitoring is selected so that they can hear themselves in the headphones. Another thing is, if you're using an audio interface, you basically want to make sure that your signal isn't too loud, because what can happen is that when it's time to add compression and different effects or whatnot, you may find out that you actually will clip the audio because there's only a certain amount of headroom, only a certain amount of space that you're able to record sound in. So you just want to basically make sure that's, about halfway is pretty decent. The next thing you would want to do is, if you're playing drums or piano or whatnot, you want to make sure to turn your metronome on. You could do a count in. This purple means that the count is on. This red means that the click track will be enabled. For me, for this example, I don't need that, so I'm just going to deselect those. And right here is where you would select your tempo. If you know the tempo of your song, you could actually just change it. I'll just change it to 80 for this example. And if you don't know the tempo, that's fine. You could record without changing that. And basically what I'm going to do is, once that's enabled and I'm ready to record, I would hit this button and it would be recording. So let's check it out. Actually, the metronome didn't turn off. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, test. Notice that my sound is being recorded right here. My voice is being recorded right here. And when you're ready to stop, you could hit this button here, or you could hit the space bar. It's pretty easy, right? Now, if you wanted to record yourself on another track, say for instance you recorded a lead vocal and you wanted to back up your vocal, what you would do is you do the exact same thing. You would make sure that your input is set. You would make sure that your levels are set fine on your microphone, and you would record. I'm just going to mute this for this example. You just hit record, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you have it. Pretty straightforward. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson today. The next time we're going to talk about loops. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the link below, to our channel below, and I'll see you in the next lesson.